I'm Nusrat from TutorBiz, and today we are going to understand commas. Topic for today is the comma. As you all know, comma is this punctuation mark that we use often. Now, what is the use of this comma? A comma is a punctuation mark that signals the reader to pause. Yes, we just have to pause for a bit when a comma arrives in the sentence. This pause can help us better understand what is trying to be said. Now, what does that mean? Why is a comma important? We already have a full stop, right? But why we need this comma? So there is a difference between comma and a full stop. A full stop or a period indicates that the sentence has completely come to an end, and the next sentence that is going to start has a different idea. But a comma indicates that we just have to pause for a second and then continue with the next part of the sentence. And the next part of the sentence is actually something dependent on the first part of the sentence. Also, one important difference where there is a comma and a full stop is after full stop, the first letter that will start will always be capitalized. Whereas that is not the case with a comma, except if it is a proper noun. Okay. Now let us quickly see an example and understand how important a comma is. If I want to say, let's eat grandma. Okay. Here I'm just telling my grandma, let's start eating. Let's eat grandma. If I don't put this comma and I just say this as, let's eat grandma. Did you see the huge difference between these both sentences? The second sentence, where there is no comma, tells us that we are talking about eating grandma, which is completely a different meaning. So, this is how we come to know comma is very, very important, and we should understand where and how a comma should be used. Understand some rules which will help you in understanding where a comma should be used. So, rule number one, use the comma between the month, date, and the year. Let's write an example quickly. She was born on June 26, 2000. So here we need to place a comma between the month, date, and the year. The second rule where we are going to use a comma is to separate when there are more than 3 names or items in a sentence. For example, I went to buy apples, oranges, limes, and bananas from the fruit store. Yes. So when there are few names in a sentence, there is a list. We use this comma between them. Apples, comma, oranges, comma, limes. And the last one will be joined using the conjunction and. Let's say one more example, like Tina, Mia, John, and Smith are my best friends. So between these first 3 names, I'm going to put a comma. Now, rule number 3, use a comma before and or but when joining 2 complete sentences. For example, if I have a sentence, I want to say, I wanted to play. Suppose if I want to say, I wanted to play cricket, but I was tired. So I have to put a comma before but. I was tired. And one more rule where you have to make use of comma is after an introductory phrase. For example, let me quickly write down an example. After finishing my homework, I went to play. So I have to put a comma after this introductory phrase of the sentence after finishing my homework. So these are some rules where we have to use comma in sentences.